So I'm looking online and I'm seeing things. And right now we got a situation where Math HOFFA seems to have gone on Drink Champs. Now, I want to talk about this. It looks like Math HOFFA is trying to change the game of battle rap. You know what I mean? He goes on Drink Champs and he's talking to Noriega. And what he's talking about is probably going to not sit well with a lot of league owners. You know what I mean? And I do want to say this. I feel like what he was talking about is right. You know, this is what Math HOFFA was talking about. He's basically bringing up the fact that battlers are only paid one time, and that's it.
Right now, battle rappers are like early rappers, slaves, where we get one check, and bye-bye. This shit could hit any type of channel.
You should still get that check
or
and
network.
the residual check of a publishing. If that battle goes viral and hits hard, then it should be.
You know what I mean? They get no royalties off of any of their work, whereas the league can take the rights and license it out to anybody and everybody if they so choose to. And, you know, continue to make money off of millions of views that tend to come later on from the battles. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of an issue for battle rappers. And in Math HOFFA's words, he's basically saying this is the beginning stages of rap, you know what I mean? Or how it used to be in hip hop before people started figuring out like publishing deals and things like that on how to get paid and how they stop getting robbed by their industry and start getting royalties for their work, you know. So he's kind of making a point that battle rappers are kind of the new modern day rap slaves, you know what I mean? And I don't think he's trying to demean anybody by saying that. I think he's trying to spark the conversation that things may need to change in the realm of battle rap. And you can kind of see it with certain acts. They kind of go and they bounce around from like different leagues. You even have situations to where we've had in the past battle rappers, you know, being so low on funds that they end up, you know, in a sense, robbing other leagues. You know, that's kind of just like promising a battle, taking a deposit, and never showing up. You know, we had a couple of leagues that actually went through something like that last year. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just like, yeah, some of those actions are extremely unnecessary, but it's kind of showing you that there are people who are kind of struggling or at least hurting for money, while these leagues, or I should say the league owners, are sitting around constantly receiving residuals from the product. You know, as we sit here right now, you got people that may be watching different battles on different leagues and they're making money off of it. Now I understand what Math HOFFA is saying. He's basically saying, you know what I mean? Like, we only get paid once and that's it, you know? So this is why you starting to have battle rappers, you know, they kind of not taking the craft seriously. They kind of just like, they feel like that they're only worth like X amount of dollars, you know, and so they just give you like, you know, short performances, or, you know, they kind of stumble or choke in their battles and things like that. Now, I don't think any of that's right. I feel like, you know, if you get contracted to, you know, do a service, you go ahead and you perform the service flawlessly. That's how I'm kind of looking at it. But he's kind of bringing the light, you know, that a lot of battle rappers are actually getting used, you know what I mean? So this is something that we've all known, but, you know, it seems like this is something that's been bothering him. He wanted to take it to one of the biggest platforms in entertainment, which is a show on Revolt, which is Drink Champs, you know what I mean? And, you know, with this being on there, a lot of people are going to start taking heed to this. You know, battle rappers are not going to have any choice but to watch them, you know, and Math HOFFA has a big platform on his own, which is my expert opinion, that is doing very, very well. But when you have, you know, a climate of hate and people that just try to tear each other down, this is the nature of battle rap. It's a negative sport. It is what it is. You know, they're not going to have a choice other than to watch and listen, you know what I'm saying, to see what Math HOFFA has to say, you know what I mean? And I know Smack White and Beasley, you know what I mean, Chico, all these league owners out here are probably not going to be wanting to hear this, you know, but I think they do have to figure out a way to maybe even license out the product and, you know, give the artist a cut of a percentage of the battle. And I think if they were to do something like that, then the leagues wouldn't have to put up so much money in the beginning. But if you're paying battle rappers like $20,000 or $40,000 for a performance, or something crazy like that, it's a situation where maybe a league, even though they may be doing pay-per-view, sometimes they may not be able to recover that cost. So it could be advantageous to maybe work out, some sort of a deal to where instead of paying all of this money up front, everybody could be happy. You give the battle rapper a certain percentage. Now, if the battle rappers are asking for like 75% for the product, then you know who to negotiate with and who not to negotiate with. Because right now in the climate of battle rap, people have exorbitant prices, and they're still thinking back in the old days when views used to matter on YouTube in terms of generating a lot of money. Things have changed, and the content that's vulgar do not get the same CPM, or I should say the same ads, that run as other content on YouTube. So I would say monetization has been greatly impacted by a lot of league owners, unless they're doing pay-per-view, to where they can end up generating some money. But like I said, they all have to figure out some type of way to license out the product. Maybe they can do it with Netflix. Maybe they can do it with Amazon. Maybe they can do it with Hulu. Maybe they can do it with Stars, or, try to do something innovative and license out the product. But, as time goes on, battles become older and older, and people are not as interested in older battles as they used to. Like a lot of people may not end up going back to watch Rex versus Math HOFFA. They may not be going back to watch B Magic versus Conceited. Some people may go back and watch that because, Conceited's on Wild and Out or something. But, other battles, that we know, maybe like a Chilla Jones versus JC, it may not get, the traffic as some of the bigger battles that are newer, So we have to figure out a way to license out the product, and we may have to figure out a way to end up cutting the battle rappers in so that they're not at a disadvantage moving into this situation, But some people could say the battle rapper is at an advantage because you do have situations out here to where leagues have put up money for different battle rappers and they haven't been able to recoup the money. Either the door money wasn't what they expected it to be, the pay-per-view money wasn't as expected to be because the battle rappers are not promoting, or, it could be a situation where the YouTube money isn't what they thought it would be and they have to pay out all this money. Well, some people say give the battlers an incentive. We had KOTD. They went ahead and tried to incentivize the battlers. They gave them a link, told them to promote the link, and with the promotion of the link, they would end up getting a percentage of that sale. And we saw Ilmac, he was trying to promote his link, but you had a lot of people, even though they got that incentive, they were still lazy with their promotion, and some people just decided not even to, promote the link, so you do get situations like that to where you got battle rappers that are lazy, just like regular entertainment artists are lazy and they don't want to create albums and they don't want to do this and that. You have the same thing that's going on with battle rap. So there has to be a medium to where, the battler and the league owner could be able to work together and maybe try to promote, the best way that they can in order to sell enough tickets or sell enough interest in the battle in order to be able to license it out to different companies. You know what I mean? And I think that URL, they kind of made a step forward to try something different with the caffeine app. But as far as licensing their product out, to make money, I think they need to be looking at maybe Netflix or, maybe like a TV show or something like that in order to be able to generate money off that product. But this is going to come down to whether or not battle rappers are smart or if battle rappers are dumb. You know what I mean? And as we know, a lot of these battle rappers out here don't make the best decisions. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure y'all can see, just within the past year, some of the people that haven't been making the best decisions. So this may have to come into play to where battle rappers may have to have proper management, because the league owners are not going to look out for you. The only people that's going to look out for you is yourself, but then also the league owners, a lot of times they don't make the best decisions. decisions. I've seen them book, some battle rappers for extraordinary amounts of money that come and play around in battles. You know what I mean? So that's the issue with that. But I do feel like Math Hoffa made headway by bringing up the issue that has been plaguing battle rap, to where battle rappers are not really getting paid residuals off of their work.
But to know that Lux, you're never going to make another dime.
Y'all don't
off
get
of that
sound exchange
situation.
off of anything?
No.
And I know league owners might get mad at that or whatever, but, it's kind of like, if a battle rapper had a vested interest in a company to have more money, in the long run, I think a better product may end up coming out of the battle rapper. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, leagues also have to be cognizant that you may be having battle rappers out here that's not doing what they need to do, and some of these battle rappers is going on these platforms choking, messing up, playing around, and not caring. They may need a reality check, and sometimes we don't want to give these people reality checks, but I think they may need one, because they are representing the brand when they are on your cards and when they're on your stages, you know what I mean? So when they come and they play around, they're not prepared, they're not marketing, they're not promoting, you have to think about whether or not these people are viable enough to stay with the company, or if you may need to sever ties with them. But another thing, that Math Hoffa kind of talked about, he was basically like, we can't even share the footage because we get flagged if we end up putting it on our social media accounts.
It doesn't happen. We can't even repost our own battles on our own YouTube channels without getting flagged.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of just like a surreal experience, if you are the creator of the content and you can't even show, your fan base what you were able to create, but you can look at it like you sold the service to a company and you gave up your masters and the rights, to your product, so now the league can do whatever they want with it. So that may be a surreal experience, but I think a way to kind of get rid of all that is if the battlers and the league owners actually work together in unison and made it to where the battler could get some sort of publishing. And I know what y'all are talking about. Oh, well, this isn't the music industry. Well, you get publishing and things like off of spins, you know what I mean? Or off of, streams and, on YouTube. When the blog is up or a battle is up, you're streaming, so I'm getting money off of streaming, so it's kind of just like battlers need to be able to recoup some of this money. But with the advent of the app, it kind of stops a lot of those things. You can't really negotiate your views in terms of, I get X amount of views and this is what I may be able to generate on YouTube. Now it's app based, so we don't see the views. Let's just talk about the URL, for example. But you can be able to say, well, I probably drove this much traffic to the app, so I, think I deserve X, Y, and Z. Maybe we can work it out that way, but it would be hard to kind of figure that out. You know what I mean? Like being all the way real with you. But, another thing that battlers may have to come to a realization about is if you do sit down with the league and you work something out that way, unless you Lux or something, you're going to probably have a problem doing that. But if you sit down with a league and work it out, you may not be able to get the upfront money like you've been wanting, so you may have to settle for that slow pay. And with that, you may have to, really put on and give a crazy solid performance. That way that performance may end up doing numbers and lasting you to where you can get some money off of it. So there's positives and negatives, there's pros and there's cons to each, but I do feel like battlers need to be getting compensated, or at least need to be getting residual income from their product. So Math Hoffa is stirring up some in the battle rap community, because the big figureheads that control the money, they're probably kind of rolling around right now, like trying to figure out how to stop this momentum. But these questions have been asked, like underground, and a lot of battlers talk to bloggers and talk to media about this issue. We've heard about it over and over again, and now Math Hoffa is bringing this on one one of the biggest platforms in entertainment to talk about this. You know what I'm saying? But I'm curious of what y'all think, and I know what y'all gonna say. You know what I mean? It ain't none of my business with the money, but this is affecting and impacting battlers' lives, because with this whole coronavirus situation going on and a lot of people not being able to go to events and battle, they could be having a little bit of income if they were to have a deal to where they were getting some sort of publishing or some residuals, I should say, off of their product. You know what I'm saying? But y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. Peace.